Are you tired of not feeling like you're that bitch? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to That Bitch Energy, the podcast, where we're all about tuning into your highest self and growing your awareness, presence, and consciousness while keeping it fun, relatable, modern, and grounded. Let's get into it and embody that bitch energy from within. Ain't nobody seen a bitch like me. I'ma come up on ya. Ain't nobody warned ya. Welcome back to another episode of That Bitch Energy, the podcast. I'm your host, Bianca, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I just want to say that and name that. I feel so honored that I can sit here and make videos for you. I feel so grateful that I can even sit here and press record as some people have lost everything. I don't want it to be forgotten how grateful that I am. Today's episode is about trusting yourself, trusting your own decisions, and listening to your intuition. I want to ask you, how many times have you second-guessed yourself, only to realize later that your gut was right all along? I see you, I hear you, and I am you. It happens to all of us. Society teaches us to look outwards for answers, ask advice, check reviews, get someone else's opinions before making a move. But let me tell you something, your intuition is your superpower. That quiet nudge, the inner knowing, that's your higher self guiding you. The problem is we're so used to drowning it out with all the noise, all the fear, and other people's voices. And I want to let you know that you have everything you need right here, everything you need. You just have to learn to trust yourself again. I am with you. How can we strengthen our intuition? How do we tune in and hear our inner voice once again, loud and clear? Well, let's break it down. We've got to get quiet. We've got to sit with ourselves in a quiet space. Quiet out the noise, the thoughts. Your intuition speaks and whispers. It does not shout. Just giving yourself 3 to 5 minutes a day of stillness and breathing through the stillness, clearing your mind will help you hear your inner voice. You just have to listen. The more you do it, the clearer your intuition gets. Pay attention to your body. Your intuition often shows up physically, like a tightness in your chest when something feels off, or a sense of calm when you're on the right path. Use your body as a compass. Learn to follow it. And stop overthinking. Raise your hand if you spiraled in a pros and cons list. Me. Definitely me. Where we spiral so long that it makes decisions really fucking hard. Intuition is not about overanalyzing. It's about feeling. Practice going with your first instinct and see what happens. And how can we trust ourselves when it feels hard? Let's talk about the fear that comes up when we trust our gut. Sometimes trusting yourself means making a choice that not everyone will agree with. It might mean saying no to something that looks good on paper, or yes to something that feels risky. Here's what I want you to remember. Even if your decision doesn't lead to the outcome you hoped for, it's not a mistake. It's a lesson. Trusting yourself isn't about being perfect. It's about honoring your inner voice and knowing you've got your own back, no matter what. So here's a little practice on how to trust your intuition. Think about a decision you need to make right now, big or small. It could be what you're going to eat for dinner. It could be, am I going to move across the country? Am I going to move to a different country? Anything that you need to decide right now. Then close your eyes and take a deep breath. And picture both options in your mind right now. How does each one feel inside of the body? One will feel more calm, lighter, and more expansive. And that's your intuition speaking. I would say try this with small decisions first, like dinner, or what route to take to work. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel about trusting your gut with the bigger things. So trusting your intuition isn't about getting it right every time. It's about building a relationship with self. It's about knowing that you are capable, wise, and worthy of making your own choices. If you have a friend that you notice struggles with making their own choices, always looking at reviews, always asking someone else for advice, always turning here, there, trying to ask every single person, and then they are just scatterbrained and they can't figure it out, here's something I want you to try. Stop asking for advice. Give yourself 30 days where you don't ask anyone for advice. You just decide everything for yourself. You don't go outside for those answers. Try it just for 30 days and see if there's a shift in you trusting you. This changed my life. When I heard I did not need to ask advice for things that I needed to choose, my life changed. I stopped worrying about what other people thought. I stopped thinking, oh, they have it figured out and I don't. I stopped thinking and putting everyone else on a pedestal above me. Because that's what you're saying when you're asking outside of you. You're telling yourself, I'm not good enough to make this choice. I'm not smart enough to make the decision. I don't know. I'm not enough. And I'm telling you, babe, you're enough. And give yourself those 30 days of not asking anyone for advice. You make the call. You make the shot for you. I love you. If there's anyone you know that struggles with making decisions, share this episode with them. Share the gift of this episode with them. It's like a wink, like, girl, you got this. This episode's for you, honey. So thank you for tuning in to That Bitch Energy, the podcast. I am still your host, Bianca, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one, and I can't wait to hear how this episode has changed how you trust your intuition. I love you. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. Ain't nobody seen a bitch like me. I'ma come up on ya. Ain't nobody warned ya.